Hackers broke into the networks of the Treasury and Commerce departments as part of a global cyber espionage campaign. They accessed those networks by slipping malware into SolarWinds software, according to the global security firm FireEye, which is also compromised. SolarWinds says it has 300,000 customers worldwide, including 5 branches of the U.S. military: Pentagon, State Department, NASA, NSA, Department of Justice, and the White House. It says that the 10 leading U.S. telecommunications companies and top 5 U.S. accounting firms are also among customers. Wow. You imagine if Trump had fired Chris Krebs, the head of Director of Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security at Homeland, if it was because of this and not because of the election. That would be hilarious. Krebs today is still insisting this is the most secure election ever. We'll get into that in a second. YouTube, oh my God, it's unbelievable. There's ridiculous censorship going on. And it's so, there's just no way that there's some person doing, how do you substantiate what is, they're not even saying, it's not even proved. You can't allege anything. I can't allege that we didn't fly to the moon. No, of course I can. I can allege that the CIA killed Kennedy. Of course I can. I can allege that Russians colluded with Trump in the 2016 election. It's all over YouTube. But we'll get to that. I just, unbelievable. This is the guy that should just be working on Windows XP 2 for Microsoft. He's a complete bungler. It's all political. It's amazing how many people see a money grab when they leave Trump's cabinet or anything that's currently being, in the turnover process for the Biden administration. They're just like, you know what? I could probably get $500,000 at least of free publicity from this firing. Just all I have to do is trash Trump and go on CNN. No big deal. Why not? Why not? Now, it's interesting. He does clarify that the election's the most secure from an external standpoint. That is to say, from a foreign actor standpoint, not internal fraud. The caveat being, if Democrats colluded and committed fraud, that's a criminal matter is entirely different than international espionage. Is it? So you're saying, the Dominion voting machines could technically be compromised, but that's an internal problem. Russia definitely we're not involved in this one. No, they're all about 2016. They totally, it's just so manipulative, so biased, so weird. It's so early in the findings. Like, let's let this play out. This is the reality of the Electoral College and the problem with the allegations of fraud. You have the election on the 3rd, and then you have 2 months basically to convince a bunch of people that something terrible happened. Even if it did, there's not enough time. This is a very imperfect system that we live in. There's no way to convince. You have to get to court. You have to do this and that, and then also, as a justice or someone involved in the lower court system, imagine accepting that case and holding up the entire process. No one's gonna like you. No private sector jobs for you from the Democrats. Big tech's not going to give you a job at Google, paying $1 million a year to do nothing because you have a poli-sci degree from Harvard. Why do they need you? In a lobby for Google? It's amazing how many people leave politics and go work with big tech. It's like, well, what do? Do you know how to code? No. Do you know how to do it? No. I'm just going to convince Congress that what you're doing is fine. It's so superficial, surface level. It's not really substantive. But what it is, I think more importantly in terms of value proposition, is that the politician has a job that pays way more money than they would ever receive otherwise for their tenure as a politician in the private sector. And so the leverage game is, I better not piss off these potential clients and future employers in 10 years from now or 15 years or whatever, when I leave politics and enter the private sector, or worse yet, where I'm forced to leave politics because of a scandal, like my penis showing during a masturbatory episode on Zoom, like Jeffrey Tobin. Something like that. He's kind of like a pundit / politician in a way. Jeffrey is kind of playing the side as this, I don't know what I want to do with my life, blah, 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 blah. But, he even paid for an abortion. He wanted to pay a woman to get an abortion, and then he'd pay for her artificial insemination from a donor as long as it wasn't his child. basically saying, I don't want to pay child support. You want to get pregnant? Do it with some other guy's sperm. Thank you. Here's $2 million. Actually, no. She got money from him. There's no money like that for her. She got the child support, and he was going to pay for, I don't know, 10 grand for an abortion, and then what, 5,000, 10,000, provided she has no complications from artificial insemination. It shouldn't cost more than 25,000. Way cheaper than alimony or child support. Way cheaper. My dad's fourth wife got a $2.5 million house and a $3 million settlement. Yeah. Her claim to fame was her ex-husband was Ralph Lipschitz, Ralph Lauren's business partner. And she's allegedly a Windsor or some relation to Princess Diana in some way, I don't know. And she tried out for the girl in Jaws that like swim out to the buoy. Said, let's go swimming when she's naked, but they didn't like her because of her accent. But they did like her because of her boobs. I once walked in on her naked. Good boobs. I actually slept in her bed with her when I had a bad dream when I was younger. That was weird because I was like kind of like too old to do that. It wasn't like pervert wise, but my dad's like, just let him sleep with you. I gotta, he's scared. But I wasn't like 5. It was creepy. Maybe over 10. It's getting weird. Oh, so weird. Oh, so weird. You know the weird things that happen? Like this stuff you just don't talk about people. I just exposed that. It's weird. It happened once. Also, another time, my half-brother wanted me to like stand on his back while I did push-ups, and then I peed on him because my brother was tickling me, and then my dad came in and spanked me. I'm pretty sure I was over 10 when that happened too. This is like little, just late bloomer in terms of inappropriate things, I guess. I don't know. I think that same night, my pocket knife bounced off my bed, and then my brother landed on it with his foot. It was a rough night. I think our tutor, when my brother broke his elbow and had to get growth plate surgery immediately in the hospital because of where the break was located. I think the tutor for like classical studies or something that I had. I don't know, something like my dad just wanted me to take classes when I was in school. It wasn't for credits. Bizarre. My dad's weird. And she my stepsister at the time, or stepsister, was getting into stuffed animal, and the tutor was like just raising me for not getting like a different stuffed animal or a different item, like here she's bringing a stuffed animal. Well, we don't have flowers. What am I supposed to bring him? I don't. You want to stop at a store and get him like an action figure? Why? She's like, no. Well, she got him a stuffed animal. It's not the same stuffed animal. So she has a zebra. I got a lion. What's the problem here? Gosh, you're so annoying. I remember this. It's so weird. Oh my god, I just go on a rant of all this inappropriate stuff. I'm not going to though. I'm not going to. Way too weird. Where were we? So that. Trump considering clemency for Russ Ulbricht, the Silk Road founder, which I think is great because cocaine has not been the same without him. Federal executions are down 29-year low. It's wonderful, I guess. I suppose, yes, good thing, unless you did something really, really naughty. Pornhub has just purged unverified content from its platform soon after MasterCard and Visa elected to drop the company entirely. And it's really frustrating. That's annoying. Why can't you just use like a bot? Like, we don't use those people for credit card processing. Use a third party. Trick them. I don't know. Maybe that's not fair. They consider that like fraudulent. I don't know. On Monday, 9 a.m., the search bar is showing only 4.7 million views, meaning Pornhub removed most of the videos on its site, including the most viewed non-verified amateur video, which has more than 29 million videos. I am a big, a lot of the amateur stuff is preferred because it's real, and not that it's not effectual in the sense that it wasn't produced by people, but it's like, it's not like produced by like a company. It's like people producing their house. It's more visceral and like, I don't know. It's like the more real something is, the more like naughty it is in a way, I guess. It's like not fake. It's almost like the two people want to be there, not getting paid. That might be it. Even though the people that making the video send it in might be for that reason to get paid, right? But I think there's an alternative or another possibility as to why this is happening other than like sex trafficking, obviously, which is a terrible thing. Not just sex trafficking of minors, but people who are like coerced into performing sexual acts without their permission. I think that might be a ruse. A lot of sex workers since COVID have gone through hell trying to, they've gone through hell since Backpage closed. They've gone through hell with numerous sites being shut down for their ads. They're normal sex workers that just want to, do their thing, blowjobs for whatever, and yada, yada, yada. And that's how they make their living. And they're kind of empowering themselves as women, even though the other side of the coin says this is the objectification of women. Which I think is interesting because there's the whole other side of this is like, well, in the porn industry, women get paid way more than men. No one ever talks about that. And in modeling, women, supermodels and everything else get way more. Like David Gandy is the Gisele Bundchen or whoever of the male modern industry. He doesn't get, it's not even close. He's not getting $25 million a year, maybe $1 million. It's rough, man. It's rough. It's and then there's the objectification of men in porn. They're just a penis. I don't know. And then there's still the same selling in the male modeling industry of that handsome guy wears that cologne, so I should wear it, which is the same idea behind oh, look how beautiful she is in that dress. Oh, look at my legs. They similar to hers. Maybe I can wear that and pull it off. Or if I want to be beautiful, this is the body dysmorphia talking. If I want to be as beautiful as her as a woman, I need to get that dress. Nothing to do with her as how gorgeous she is with or without that dress or wearing Target clothes. She still looks gorgeous. If I get the dress, I'm as beautiful as her. Same for the man. If I just get these cool jacket, or if I buy these cool $250 headphones from Apple, I'll get a blowjob from the hottest girl in school. I don't know, something like that. Nothing about maskly or sexy. No one can tell how good looking you are with or without it on. It is kind of cool. You might, I guess in LA and other places like that, you could be deemed a celebrity if everything but your face, if you wear glasses and the mask. I think if you wear sunglasses with the mask, you look like you're trying to hide something, like you're a celebrity. So if you want people to treat you better, right this way, sir, maybe you should wear sunglasses. Do I have any sunglasses here? I don't. Maybe you should wear some sunglasses with a mask. It's a little much. There's no face showing. I don't know. It might be on purpose. I don't know, probably. I remember when I was at a hotel with a good-looking girl from college. The staff that was coming in to clean were las estrellas, the stars. I'm like, oh, that's so complimentary. I really appreciate that. But no, I'm not that good-looking. And she is a psychotic bitch. No, well, yeah, she was really not a good person. But my mom had just died, so what are you gonna do? Could have been, I don't know. All right, moving on. So I think there could be something going on with the sex industry, like Pornhub. I don't want, to interfere with, the law and protecting women, but I do have a feeling there might be this proposal, the government's always trying to tax them, a sin tax. I know in India they're trying to throttle part of the internet and make people pay a Progovian tax for a completely wide open internet, that basically the telecom company has to pay a higher tax and therefore they charge you as the end consumer a higher rate per month to access all of the internet. This goes to the idea that's happening in net neutrality in the United States. But there just seems to be this overwhelming thing of we're doing all this for sex trafficking and it's all about sex trafficking. It's all about sex trafficking. Yeah, I don't know that that's true. It's almost like there might be trying to streamline the sex industry. Maybe they're trying to streamline it for big tech with AI, sex robots. They're trying to pave the way and clear out the riffraff because it's just, I don't know. What made the internet possible, really spread? There's a lot of primary theories, what propelled the internet from the very beginning. Even Claude Shannon's work at Bell Labs and compression algorithms for internet usage in the future were used as base primers. But in terms of marketing and actually getting things to go, it was the sex industry. It was selling porn. Porn was a huge part of the boom from 1996 onwards. And maybe the deep state in collusion with big tech is trying to do the same thing, clear out the riffraff, streamline everything. Because if you verify your posts, that means all the amateur stuff's going away. It's not as fun, and you have this huge barrier to entry where you have to basically tell people who you really are to post a video, and no one wants to do that. That's kind of the point. Same thing happened with Joe Rogan's podcast. Every proxy, every wall you put up, even if it's just the difference between going online and going to youtube.com and going to Spotify, downloading the app, making an account, those steps are just too much for some people when the alternative is way easier. And then it forces you into a box where you have to do these things. You're categorized now. It's not free flowing. It's not like the MySpace to Facebook. It's more throttled down and controlled. And then maybe they control certain content. Maybe they start saying what you can and can't do. And maybe I don't know. Maybe they say you have to file out a tax form every time you upload it. All this, and it could all just be for sex robots, because Google's about to come out with sex robots. They already love keeping us at home. What reason do men really have to go to a bar anyway, or to go out at all? Sex. But if you have sex at home, you can just have sex with your robot at home, order Chinese food off Amazon, order your robot cleaning products off Amazon, and then never leave. And just have this like robot that tells you how amazing you are as you get fat, bald, and I don't know, I guess not, I don't know. The gym, like why do you get people stuck going to the gym? Well, a sex robot that says you're great at anyway. That's it, really? I mean, like what do we really spend money on as men? On our significant other and traveling and all this stuff. Imagine you don't have to pay for that anymore. It's all at home through Amazon's like Total Recall, with your sex robot physically whenever you want to play that game. Maybe in your virtual reality world, you're really handsome and fit. And then when you want to play that like Donald Trump having sex with a supermodel thing with your fat, ugly, slovenly body in real life, that's when you have sex with your robot at home. Or maybe you wear a visor and your body looks really awesome and your sex robot's like physically giving you a blowjob and you think that it's like your dick's bigger and the point of view, POV, is like different from your visor's perspective, and it's all through Amazon technology. You're welcome. The future really just... Technology sucks. It's not a good thing. It's not like a benefit. It's really like id, right? Like look what I'm talking about. It's just like I would never use Tinder or any of those apps. Like I never do that ever. Believe in like going to a coffee shop and meeting someone and you see their eyes and you're like, oh my god, that person's amazing. You find out 2 months later you have all this stuff in common. It's like, how did I know like that you were the one? I mean, I could just be like, she's the most beautiful girl in the room. Maybe objectively she is. Maybe you have the balls to go up to her, and there's part of that's just simple, and you know your extroverted nature plays well with her introversion. I'm being way too specific about things about him. I don't know, but I don't know, man. It's like, ooh, I found this girl. She's 6 blocks away. Oh, she wants to, and then like she's just playing you because she's lonely. Like 90% of the people in those things just want to talk because they feel good about themselves. It's not about sex. It's also like, ugh. I don't know. I just, so vile. I hate the way this world is. Technology is gross. Technology is gross. Yeah, but let's go to talk about